Hey, thanks for checking out this tool. It's a pleasure to share it with you. I'm Jonathan. You may know me, you may not. And I want to share just a little bit about the different components that are present here so you understand the context of what's available in this and why I've chosen these things. And one of the elements of the vision that I have that's pushing this project forward and having me feeling compelled and obsessed at times with developing this program and offering it to you is to improve the quality of lives, to have a positive impact on the world, have a positive impact on my community, and improve the quality of our lives. And so there's been moments where I've tried to figure out what the world needed and to give that, but I find that my gifts are so much more easily refined if I give myself what it is that I imagine I need and then share that with the world. And I've wanted to do that as a life coach, but there's the challenge as a life coach is that it's there's a lot of checking in on, okay, where do you want to go now? What do you want to do now? What do you want to explore now? What's alive right now for you? And there's something about creating a choose your own adventure tool where you guide your process every step of the way that takes some of that out and enables it to be a little bit more efficient. And still coaching provides things like real live coaching provides things that this app can't, but I see them as complementary, and I want to share a little bit about the different tools that go into it. So the Sedona Method first. I got my heart broken in Santa Cruz, and I was wrecked. And I went to the bookstore and was looking for processes because what I needed was a coach and a therapist and a Zen master and a bunch of different allies. But on a limited budget, I went to the bookstore and went through all their books on self-help and found the ones I was looking for experiential practices, and I found Byron Katies' I Need Your Love, Is That True? And the Sedona Method. And those two books I sat with. And the Sedona Method, by working through these two tools, I had tears streaming down my face sitting in this bookstore for 2 days. And then when I saw the young woman I'd been dating next, she wanted to be with me again. I had completely let go of my attachment to her showing up in a certain way and was available to meet her in the spontaneity and the vitality and the aliveness of the moment. And what I did, how I got there, was the Sedona Method helped me identify how I was resisting the moment, and it helped me let go of that resistance, and it helped me become conscious of a bunch of unconscious things that were going on inside me, and to bring them into conscious awareness, and then to relate to them in a way that helped me let go. And so that's why, and Sedona Method has been with me, that tool, since, and so that's why it's a primary element in this inquiry, this tool that I'm offering you. Byron Katies' work helped me identify some of the unconscious things that I had believed or was believing about love, and then question them in a way that completely destroyed their credibility in my awareness. So the idea that I need someone else to love me, for example. And it did that through very simple steps of just really questioning the thoughts. So those two tools are what I've tried to do is I've tried to mine the relevant insights, the fundamental ideas in each of these tools, and then to integrate them. And that way I'm presenting it, or I'm aiming to present it in a new way. And yeah, I'll just leave that at that. So let me see, the Enneagram has been a profound tool for me. I studied it in a master's program at JFK, in a master's in integral theory. And that's been really profound for me. It helped me identify a lot more unconscious patterns and how these unconscious patterns kind of web together, mesh together, patterns of unconsciousness and roots of those patterns. And that was really inspiring because when I would see myself sort of acting in a way that wasn't fulfilling, and then I could identify, because of the quality and texture of how I was acting, I could identify that, oh, this is a fear of worthlessness at the root, and then I could address that and actually get a significant shift in this entire sort of web or mesh of unconsciousness that was playing out through me. And so I've got the Enneagram in here, and I'm relating to the Enneagram styles in two ways. The Sedona Method is the primary method. It's welcoming, noticing what it's like, witness meditation, right? Drawing from witness meditation, notice what it's like to be with it, and then identify if there's any resistance present. And usually there is, for me, resistance to being with the immediate experience, and then letting that go, and 3 steps to letting that go. So then I got really inspired by, what was next? I got really inspired by Brandon Bay's journey work. And that was a process of identifying emotions that were present and welcoming them, and then dropping underneath and seeing what was there, and so on. So I'm starting to integrate that tool into this. And what I want really is, I want to be able to, anytime, just be guided in a way that I know is going to be constructive, that I know is going to be generative for me in the path of actualizing my latent potential. And there's so many ways that I want to grow. There's so many, and I'm imagining so many of those overlap with your values and your desires, and that's why I'm really inspired to offer this gift, which has become an obsession at this point. So let me see, the next thing I should mention is I went to Boulder and got really inspired by something called Intersubjective Inquiry, which is a practice that provides a direct, immediate experience of our interconnection with each other. And I realized that while I was studying that there were all these capacities that I was developing that I wanted to develop when I wasn't just there. And so I started practicing intersubjective inquiry in all my relations, which is really intimacy with the immediate experience and disclosing that, and then and then allowing ourselves to be curious about what it's like to be another person, and discovering what that is, and then revealing the impact of that. So we get the impact of our interiors. That's the intersubjective perspective, and it's a phenomenal state of consciousness that arises with that, and a sense of being deeply seen, deeply known. And I wanted to develop those capacities, which meant I needed to be really intimate with my experience. So the entire inquiry module is about cultivating intimacy with my immediate experience and discovering obscure emotions. I discovered a lot of times I'd be feeling something and I'd be staring at the app, staring at the emotions list, like, what is this feeling? And then a number of times it was shame, and what I discovered was that I had actually repressed my shame, and so I couldn't tell what I was feeling when it would come up. And then through practicing over and over, connecting to it, that began to shift, and I could identify what it feels like. And so when I was circling, people were saying, I can't quite feel you. Like, I don't know what are you really feeling? And I realized that I wanted to have more intimacy and more awareness of my emotional state and of my sensory state and of my impulses. I wanted to have more awareness of that, and through that to develop the capacity to disclose that to another person and have a more authentic exchange.